G'day, today I'm going to be playing some more Rogue Tower. Now, one thing I have done is I've added a few mods to the game so I can now speed things up. And another great thing is that one of the mods allows you to respec your XP tree, so you're not stuck to just having to restart from scratch to if you want to make a change. So what I want to try and do today is ballistas only, see if that's possible. So what I have done is I've respec'd to get rid of any other tower except for the ones that it initially starts you with, because basically we just want to be unlocking these things. So we don't want our cards being offered to us being flooded with sort of, oh, do you want a flame tower? Do you want this sort of tower? No, no, no. Mortar Tower and Tesla Tower are already unlocked, so those two are already going to be hassling us. But we basically want to be able to have a free offering of only these, because we pretty much, I think, want to be spending all of our money on putting down more towers, not on upgrading any tower. Like we're definitely going to be focusing on just the absolute amount of towers that we can have. So what we want to start with here is we're just going to put down many towers as we can with good position, and we will start off expanding. And now we can also speed up, which is good. So what we want to do is basically just focus on things. So we don't want these two. We don't want the mana siphon. I assume that, I mean, it says with only Ballista towers, but I don't know if that means you can build buildings too, but better safe than sorry. We'll avoid them. And what we'll do is we will just build a few Ballista towers along the way, but this huge hit at the end should be a good smack. So we're going to go straight into banditry too, because this means we'll get more gold per thing that we build, and we'll take advantage of demolish him. Build one next to there before the wave starts, so we get that extra tiny little bit of money, and it's tiny, it's like 3 gold. Will add up. So we'll just start doing things that benefit, like the bleeding and the bleeding, the fire, and the poison, because they'll probably be important starting away. So we basically just, but anytime we get anything that is ballista, that's definitely our priority. I'm going to get rid of these guys too, just so that we can shift them to this guy up here. Just that tiny little bit extra money. Everything in the name of money at this point. Now there's one ballista upgrade that we definitely don't want to do, and that is going to be the one that allows them to use mana as a as sort of like to increase their base damage. Because what I've learnt from that is that doesn't work in that if you have no mana, you will then just do base damage. No, it's that you will then just do no damage. You just won't shoot if you don't have mana. Like, it's mana or nothing. So, because I don't want to build any sort of siphons or universities or anything, it means that for that, we are basically just going to have to hope that that we don't accidentally click it. So we can bring these guys into bleed, or we can get that drop death going up. And I think we'll go for the bleed. I think that getting the damage over time is going to be important to start with here. Now this is a really early split, which is a bit of a shame. So I do like trying to build after my sort of like last split, so everyone's going to be shooting at everyone. And you can already see that we've got a lot of ground we've got to cover up here. You probably want to focus on, because it's alright, the guys are getting through. They're actually just getting killed. So that's alright. So we can take more money. We will take advantage of that, but I guess in a moment. So say what we're hoping for is that this turns back this way, so we can have this hill to shoot at guys going either way. But what we need to do is now make the distance of all these connections further and further apart. So we don't want to expand on this one at all, because we want him to just basically be that short, so he's getting hit straight away. We do need to get a bit more going so that we don't, getting hit as many times. A few more towers in here. Now at the moment everyone's based on progress. But we might have to start shifting some guys to be a variety of things, like sort of focusing on most health, but we're definitely hit and miss on whether they're getting through or not. We'll just keep taking our bolt upgrades. Let's expand that guy again. I don't want to take advantage of that house too, but I think I need to get my my focal point here going a bit better. There we go. We're looking a bit more convincing in those deaths. Great. We're going to get poison damage going too. Let's expand that one out more to see what we can get around this house. Let's get a few guys. And there's another split. We're doing an alright job of chipping these guys down at the moment. But we are 4 rounds away from Oogie. Yeah, guys getting through it all isn't a vote of confidence. Poison, I think, was something that we had in there. Yep, good. So we may as well take that. So we now want to expand these guys out a bit more. Do another split. Let's get some guys in that range. And we'll bring some back here too. I think slowing is the other thing that we're going to really want to see get on these guys. Enemies also slowed. 5% of poison gained. We can get extra poison on them, so let's go for the extra poison. Let's continue to expand out these guys. And what I probably need to do is with this group of guys here, need to change them to focus on the biggest guys. So we want to say most armor. A shield. I hope these guys are getting down. Good. Damage to shields, damage to armor. Increase max poison per second. Attacks against bleeding enemies have a 5% crit chance. Let's take the bleeding. We'll try and get this going before we send the next wave through. As you can see, the guys are getting all the way to the end still at the moment. Sort of just a split of half focus on one of the types, the other half focus on the other. Let's expand him out. Probably do want to take advantage of that house, but because of how much guys are sort of getting through, we do want to more focus on this section here. Much better. Go chance on bleeding, guys. Range is probably the big one that we want to see. Be offered up to us. Again, you can see how much money we're getting. We need to be spending it all. There's Oogie there. You can see he's going to get worked away nicely. Great, so we'll take the Ballista focus one. Definitely more health. And we're not going to use that at all, so we'll just do more armor. Slowing enemies, beautiful. Okay, so another thing, I'm not sure if I mentioned this earlier. So one question you'd have here is, I am using the mods, and the mods aren't affecting sort of the difficulty of the gameplay at all. They're just allowing me to sort of like, just sort of creature comfort benefits of making this move at a nicer pace. I can tell you, I realized that based on the way that I've been building my my spec, I hadn't actually unlocked all the different towers, and that is an achievement. So I thought, all right, well, with the mods on, let me just unlock all the towers. Does that work? And it did. So I can confirm that with the mods as well, it does look like achievements will still work. So if I do get this, it doesn't mean that I have to then go revisit it without these sort of basic mods on. It actually will count, which is very good news. So let's still try and like get this focus going in here. But all these guys that I am putting in here, I do want to change to picking on the strongest guys. These guys back here can focus on whoever's out in front. But these guys here I want just to focus on the strongest guy in the room, especially because there's so much damage over time being done. We want them basically just putting their slowing enemies a bit more. Absolutely. We do want these guys worrying about who needs the most work, and sort of basically putting the time in for that investment, so that by the time they do get to these later guys, these guys are the ones that can just pick off who whoever needs, whoever's sort of like getting close to the end, I guess. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's get all these gone while we've got a quick little break, and we will send these guys another split. And the one thing that I think is a major problem here is I don't want to be sitting on money. That's definitely where this could be dangerous, because my intention is just to build as many towers as possible. I can't be just hoarding money for any reason. It's not that I might need it to level up one guy. You can see how fast these guys shoot, and it is purely numbers that's going to dictate how efficiently we are going to be shooting. Burn damage. Oh, there's crit chance too. That's quite good, but we'll go for the damage over time investment. Basically, we're attempting to get as much money as we can without anything that, without any other towers or anything. So it is that sort of banditry risk of the having damage done against us. I mean, I think we can occasionally get offered like the fortification to increase the tower's safety, but definitely not our priority. It's always going to be perks for the towers, because you can see here the amount of perks that these guys are getting, because the focus is just giving them perks. I can assure you that it is well worth getting the chance to... Oh, not range. That is a huge one. Alright. What have we got to pay attention to now is what's the sort of distance difference? Is anyone converging on anyone else as they come in? Possibly this one and that one are the same length. So let's work on that. Is it worth putting guys around that tower? I mean, these guys are worth 6,700 anyway. I'm not sure that it would be worth... You can see the range that these guys can now hit, so... So sort of stacking them in this area is quite good. 3% chance to freeze all, or more damage to armor. Let's take the damage to armor. The freeze will be good at some point. Who did I say? This guy and this guy, so let's expand that guy. Now he's converging with one of the two of these, so I might expand the two of those as my next two moves. Now all those extra towers in here, I realize I haven't been doing any of my sort of armor shield changes, so we'll get that going. It doesn't much matter if there's a variety of them in there. We'll go the range again. That freeze I do want to take. It's just every time it comes up, there's something better. So I mean, I well welcome it coming up if there's always going to be something better than it to take. Alright, and we do need to get... Let's get a few more guys working back in this section. You can see how much money I have just sort of ended up with because I wasn't spending it. Range, yep. You can see that range now is getting huge. So, that will be good. Let's have a look at the convergent. Maybe we need to make this guy longer for the... So I think this guy and that are collapsing in at the same point. You can see these guys back here are firing on this, so probably using this space here will be good. But yeah, they're shooting all the way over there. That's great. Especially with the amount of splits we've got on this side. Chance to crit. And we should have an Oogie on this one, so let's just slow it down a little bit. Okay, there he is back there. Good. So that should mean that the majority of guys are going to be well dead before he shows up. Probably put guys in this corner because they're going to shoot all the way back to there too. But that'll be my line. Probably here. Guys on that side of it are going to be purely progress based. I mean, for the most part, they're only going to be able to see the guy that is closest to them. He doesn't even reach the actual kill zone. Alright. They deal 2 to shields. Yeah. We'll just keep going with their base stats. Oh, I have some more things to pick up here too. Don't want to forget that this time. Increase the bleeding ability. That's the one that we don't want to do. That one will sink me. It has sunk me in a previous test of this, so definitely want to avoid that. Now, putting this here is going to dead that, so it means I can build that one because it can't expand any further. Okay, let's get a bit more of this money spent. Does seem like that's a good line to have guys built on because they are shooting all the way over there. Let's get some guys up on the hills back here because we can see they've got a pretty good range too. Let's pick that pace up again. Freeze enemies, there we go, finally came back. That should do a nice stutter stop for a lot of the guys. You can see these guys are getting through this a fair bit, but I think these are the guys that are coming from these points here. So possibly what I should do is actually just expand these back. I mean, you can see that even if I build 2 squares back, these guys are still going to be shot at by these guys for quite a distance. We may as well get that going. That's a +3 to shields. Let's do that. It even gives us some nice hills and things to work on here. These guys here do need to focus on strongest guys. And that's where we're going to see a lot of little guys in here that could be speeding through. But like I said, we do have a lot of guys at the back here that are progress focused that will hopefully take care of that. We'll go crit chance. Let's send that guy back. We'll send this guy back one more too. And then we'll sort of try and expand all of these guys, because I think now he'll be converging on this one. They're all good. Let's get a few more progress-based guys back here. A bit more crit chance. It also depends on the type of square you get, because you can see these two are straight lines, whereas these guys are so like wiggly that they're gonna. That's actually a way more distance on that one square than what these guys are getting. So you can't even just measure it in individual squares, really. Now that crit chance seems to be having a huge impact here. A lot of these guys aren't getting anywhere near us anymore. All right, so let's go armor. These guys can hit all the way back over there too, so they're certainly worthwhile. And this is actually probably one of the points I was making before. You can see I've now accrued 7,000, and I've started to sort of go like, oh, that seems alright. Like, no. There's definitely, like, I think once you hit 35 and you get the crazy guys that come after that, we do really need to be, actually, yeah... go poison slowing. We do not need to make sure we don't rest on our laurels, and we do actually get, like, spend all of this money. Now, at the moment, these guys at the front are progress based, so we do want to try and change them to pick on some other guys. Was he already set? No, he was already set. What we got on that guy? Shields, health. Let's go shields. Let's expand on... Okay. Increased burn. Let's expand out. Okay. I'm starting to get concerned that I've expanded these all out, but almost to an even amount. But these guys are far enough back that it means that all these guys can actually now shoot at them from the get-go, so I think it does sort of work them down a nice amount by the time they do hit this. And again, I'm up to 10,000 gold, so I do need to be spending. It's almost easier to build guys at the back, because I know they're just going to be progress-based. Okay. Poisoned enemies take more damage, sure. And let's expand out that guy. Probably actually a whole bunch of real estate here I could still use too. This is 35, so let's slow it down because this should be, yeah. Let's just bring this one all the way down because we've got an Oogie coming. You can see the 3's even kicking in with him, which is really nice and effective. Alright, let's pick the pace up again. Max burning. Crit deals 10% of the target's current poison damage as extra damage, sure. Sure. And let's expand out that guy. We'll pick up... Now, these purple guys on this one, actually, we'll just slow this to 2 speed. We'll try and get a few more towers up on these. See what that sort of range is. Yeah, not great. You can see these guys are getting through a fair bit. So we want to keep using our money to build back now. Because there's a lot of them getting through. But hopefully, because these guys are all focused on doing that, shooting the guy that's strongest, it means by the time it is getting to this, everyone's a little bit worn down. These guys definitely move slow from that far back entrance. This is the stuff that I'm certainly glad I can now speed it up. Increase max burning enemies burn faster based on how much slow they have. Get that one. Let's continue to push these guys back a little bit. These sort of maybe these 3, just to try and divide it a bit more too. I can see these guys up here are also taking shots over here, which is nice. There's probably a bit more we could build up here too. These guys I want to do armor and shield sort of preference. No. Burning enemies burn faster. They take additional damage from all attacks. Let's do that. Let's push this guy back. There we go. So because we've got all our different exits, it's probably say that we're going to be just like capping the end of each of our routes now. Get those 5 in. We'll just up there, change their priority. There's a fair few guys that are pushing through there, though. Slow this down. I'm a crit. Current damage is crit, sure. If these guys get crit, they're gonna get absolutely spanked. There's a free spot right there. Right in the heart of it. It's nice to see these guys getting in on the action on these ones. We will continue to build back. See, a lot of guys are hitting the progress focus. But I mean, I suppose these guys can hit so much range that they're shooting all the way back here to focus on guys. They're not actually picking on the ones at the front, which is why the sort of the progress guys are also important here. Guy is really taking his time. No. Additional damage from all attacks. Sounds good. Almost they can hit over here. But we'll let them worry about progress. They can sort of pick on guys moving around that corner, and there's a lot of them. Oh, we could be in trouble here. So the real question is there anything that I can then do about this? Whether it's... I mean, you can see how many guys got through. Would it be that I have more guys that are focusing on progress to address that? It's possible that... Because I feel that like what these guys were doing is they were shooting at someone, they would then allow that guy to get sort of like weakened down before it then moves on to the next guy. I could probably have spent more tower upgrades and not focus on the extra gold, but I don't know. Definitely still room for improvement for that one. But you can sort of see that if you're just focusing on a particular type of tower, this is the sort of thing that you can do. I mean, even in normal games, if you went this strategy, but then also gave yourself, say, frost towers, so that frost towers were the only other thing that you had, and so they were just helping slow everything down for ballistas. But then you also, say, use mana siphons, and so could take that base benefit. Is that a strategy that you can go? It's probably one thing I should read up on. Am I allowed to actually use the siphons and so on? But you can even see with spending so much money, and my ballista's even getting up to 1500, and spending 120,000 on them, they were still hitting a massive damage per second because of like that sort of benefit. It's just a question of how you get past those level 40, like 35 to 40 levels that are always definitely difficult. You can also see that the house protection investments that I put in early did end up being 13% of my total gold, and that banditry did actually also was 20%. So they both were worthwhile because they were 1/3 of my total. Even without using that little house there. Yeah, there we go. Now I just got to think about what can I do to improve that. Should it be more guys in progress, or a more scattering of where guys are doing progress and where guys are focusing on armor or shield? What should we be doing? Anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll catch you later. See ya.